Namaskar.
Namaskar.
Welcome to Sara Akash. This is Vijay Lakshmi and he's my friend Pitambar.
It is a great privilege for me to be a part of an incredible Sara Akash.
Have you heard the story of the universe? Long story of upheavals, big bangs, the steady state, bottomless black hole, the Milky Way, and
And the fantastic story of the earth that is just brief 2 minutes compared to billions of years of story of the universe.
is it the time of Lord Brahma
Yes.
when whose 1 second is equal to thousands of human years and a day is equal to billions of human years?
Yeah. Once a demon prayed Lord Vishnu against the warnings of his friends that getting a boon from Lord Vishnu would be difficult. His prayer was answered after a long, hard, and strenuous meditation. When Lord Vishnu was ready to grant him a boon, he asked to grant him the greatest boon, that is, to give him all the wealth of the world. Lord Vishnu told him that all the wealth of the world would take time to come. The demon asked impatiently, "How much time?" Lord Vishnu replied, "1 minute in divine clock." "I will wait," he said happily. Lord Vishnu smiled and said, "1 minute is equal to a billion of human years." The demon lamented, "I will die before I get the wealth." Lord Vishnu blessed him. "You will not die, you will get salvation. No boon is greater than salvation."
Today we'll discuss the topic Tell a Tale, how you journey your life through stories.
No storyteller is greater than the mother. She goes on telling stories to her baby, and the baby, a complete stranger to her mother's language, listens to her with rapt attention. She forgets her cry, forgets her hunger, and sleep.
All of us have heard countless stories from our mothers, and so we love her so much.
Yeah, the storytellers are the best loved people in the world. The grandparents occupy the pride of place in a child's life because of those fabulous stories of love and laughter, sorrows and suffering, weal and woe, partings and meetings, leading to the unimaginable secrets of life.
If the grandson is unhappy, story takes a sudden turn, like stream going down the hill.
Weaving stories from nowhere is an art. Your imagination and experience juxtapose to create such stories.
But everyone has a story to tell.
Yeah, the Panchatantra starts with a fabulous story. The king requests the guru to take his 4 mischievous, naughty, disobedient, and idiotic sons to his ashram to teach them. The teacher found them restless, inattentive to focus on studies. So he started telling stories, mainly of animals. The 4 princes listened to the story after the story and grew up responsible, intelligent, strong willed, respectful. The Guru then equipped them with virtues, made them familiar with vices. He infused in them the common sense, purpose of actions, and acceptance of consequences. Life changed for them. The king was proud of his sons.
We can safely say that stories have indelible impact on the young minds. They not only enjoy the stories, but they also learn from them the lessons of life. Their horizon expands, imagination flies, wisdom deepens.
Truly, the stories on one hand teaches moral lessons, on the other hand, they inspire children to learn what comes before and what comes after. A wave of joy sweeps the class, binding everyone with a smile. Storytelling is the most effective tool in the hands of teachers who affect eternity.
A smile, that's what everyone needs.
Yes.
A smile is an inspiration, an invigoration of all your organs, opening up new vistas of possibilities. You get the sudden sparks and you get up to make that crucial beginning which you have been waiting for.
That is the unstoppable force within. It needs to be discovered.
So, stories lay the foundation of the new beginnings, the missing finishing touches to your ventures. They also build your character. They may make you a man or woman of substance.
Character building and man making education are a process that begins at home, plowing its way through the schools, colleges, and universities to your place of work, where it grows and expands its wings.
Absolutely. The efforts of the parents must be strengthened at educational institutions by the teachers whose stories are always remembered because those stories create a profound impact on the life of the children.
A storyteller is like the cuckoo, is the harbinger of change. An administrator, an executive, or a man who presides over a meeting, or talking to a group of people, or addressing a large gathering needs a story to create that inflection point that either introduces or concludes or illustrates the idea that allows the listener to create pictures of understanding in his mind.
You become a smart communicator, which is the core of your personality, charming your way through turns and twists of your idea, convincing them with the logical examples, anecdotes, and even your personal experiences.
Let's define a story. A story has a beginning, a middle, and the end. You can begin a story from anywhere depending on what you need to relate. The beauty of a story is that it ends, but the listener continues to walk the story down the line.
And of course, the story has a moral.
That's the crux of the story. Everyone finds something from it.
Let's tell a story of love.
The story of Sakuntala and Dushyant, dramatized in Kalidas' Abhigyana Sakuntalam, tells a love story, marriage, separation, and eventual reunion intertwined with a sage curse that causes Dushyant to forget Sakuntala, but their love ultimately prevails.
It's a classic love story. Waiting is a real sign of true love and patience, is proved in this story. And our country, Bharat, is named after their son Bharat, a brave boy whose fight against a lion is legendary.
Through the churning of friendship and betrayal, we explore gems of successes and pass through the poison of depression and sorrow. History is replete with numerous examples of disasters because of betrayals.
Yeah. In the story of Sasemira, a prince, out of fear of the tiger, climbs up the tree to find a bear waiting for him.
Yes.
The bear befriends him and protects him, ignoring the tiger's warning of danger from him. But the princess, but the prince tries to drop the bear on the advice of the tiger. The bear curses him to utter Sase Mira, Sase Mira. He is cured when the wise minister, banished by the king, reads four slokas, starting with the Sa Se Mi Ra.
It means the noble and the ignoble coexist. We can neither ignore friends nor embrace betrayers. Frenemies can cause unmitigated disasters. The only way we can avoid them is the knowledge and understanding of the people.
But small, simple people spread happiness around which we fail to appreciate. Let me tell you a story of M. Vishweshwaraya, the famous engineer who constructed the Krishnaraj Sagar Dam on Kaveri River. One day, when he was driving away on a beautiful, neat road, suddenly he stopped near a person who was cleaning the road. He asked him his name and thanked him. Every time I pass by this road, I feel a surge of joy within me, and you are the cause of my happiness.
Oh.
The man went about telling the story to each and every one. His joy knew no bounds.
While sincerity of purpose makes your work noteworthy, appreciation propels you to become a man of mission.
You will enjoy the benefits of greatness when you become great.
Yes.
Or you work with a great man.
Ah.
The story of Albert Einstein's driver is very fascinating. As Albert Einstein moved from university to university to give a lecture on the theory of relativity, his driver listened to him completely mesmerized. One day, as he was driving Einstein to a university for the lecture, the driver expressed his desire to deliver the lecture on his behalf. and he assured Einstein that he remembered each and every word of the entire speech. Einstein was curious.
Fortunately, no one knew him there by face.
Right. He occupied a seat in the front row and allowed his driver to speak on his behalf. It was a flawless speech delivered by his driver on the theory of relativity. But when a scholar asked him a question, he confidently pointed at the man sitting in the front row and said, "My driver will answer your question." He walked out. Needless to say, Einstein happily handled all the queries.
This story tells that you can do the impossible, but you must have your heart on the job.
Yes.
The heart is a sea of emotions and feelings. Sincere devotion that comes from the core of your heart can make a miracle happen. A very deeply religious and devoted Brahmin worshipped Lord Vishnu, and his only son witnessed his father's offerings of flower and prasad with all the steps in detail every day. One day, the Brahmin had to go to a far off place from where he could return only on the next day.
Yeah.
His son Satya assured him that he would worship God exactly as he did.
It was a golden opportunity for him to please God as well as his father.
Yes, but his devotion was out of the world. He did everything without a flaw and offered prasad to Lord Vishnu. Like his father, he went out of the room to facilitate God to have prasad. He never followed his father to the puja room before to get prasad. He always waited outside. This time, when he entered the puja room, he was horrified to see the fruits he offered remained untouched. He requested God earnestly, pleaded with him, begged him, but nothing happened. Then he gave a warning, "Come and have prasad, or I will take action." Nothing happened. Then the boy went out and brought a stick. "Don't make me do the worst. Please have the prasad." Lord Vishnu came down, had all the fruits, and smiled at the boy. Then he disappeared. When father returned, Satya told the whole story. At that, the father fell at his son's feet.
Only a true devotee can achieve the divine darshan.
A pure, innocent heart full of love.
Tulsidas' mad love and his passionate attachment for his wife Ratnavali is incredible. One day Ratnavali went to her father's place without informing Tulsidas. Unable to bear the pain of separation, he swam across the overflowing Saryu river in a stormy night. On seeing her husband's desperate effort, Ratnavali chided him. If he had been even half devoted to God, as he was to her, he would have achieved redemption, moksha. The incident had a profound impact on him, leading to dedicate his life to Lord Ram and his creation of Ramcharitmanas. His teaching of devotion and love for God inspires many to lead a life of spiritual fulfillment.
Insurmountable goals can be achieved through a planned and organized approach. The story goes that the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi called General Sam Maneksa and asked him to put an end to the oppression in East Bengal. But General Maneksa refused to carry out the order immediately but assured the PM that the onslaught would begin immediately after rain. He needed time to plan and organize in detail before such a mammoth war. He wanted to be sure they would win. The victory of 1971 war is a testimony of the discipline, planning, organizing ability of Indian armed forces.
The surgical strikes in recent times that made a great story were so well planned and organized that neither was there a loss of life nor was there any doubt about the success. The
Yes.
precision, timing, and planning were so perfect that these strikes have put our defense forces on top of the world.
You mean what you say? Indian armed forces silently, clinically, professionally execute the plans. Their heroic actions, valor, courage speak louder than thousand words. Indian armed forces have always lived up to their commitments. The sacrifice and victory of the heroes of Galwan frightened the people of People Liberation Army out of their wit and courage. And the Indian army stood there committed, unwavering, unafraid, pushing the Chinese soldiers back to the barracks.
This, in fact, is a legacy of Indian history. Shibi Rana had a great reputation of standing up to his words. His commitment to protect the dog against the evil put his life at stake. When the eagle made the demand for dog as his food and accused him of doing injustice by depriving him of his food, Shibi Rana offered his flesh as food for the eagle. The eagle and the dove actually were Indra and Dharmaraj, who came in disguise to test Shibi Rana's commitment to his promise.
It is said Maharana Pratap always carried two swords to give his enemy a chance to fight and live.
Oh,
He never wavered from this principle as he was very confident of his ability and skill and was blessed with boundless courage. The undefeated saga continued throughout his life, even in the Haldihat battle in 1576 between Akbar and Maharana Pratap. He fought valiantly for 4 hours and escaped unhurt. Before he died of injury, he asked his son never to surrender to Akbar and fight to get back Chittor fort.
courage and bravery are like the sea and the sunshine, inexhaustible and perennial.
Yes.
Maharana Pratap's valor will remain vibrant forever.
Pannadhai, a 16th century Norse maid, is revered in Indian history for her selfless act of sacrificing her own son, Chandan, to save the young Prince Uday Singh from his uncle Banbir, who sought to usurp the throne of Mewar. Pannadhai's sacrifice is an example of extraordinary loyalty, courage, and devotion, solidifying her place in the annals of Indian history. You know, I acted as Uday Singh in an open-air theatre called Yatra.
Oh, great. Obedience, loyalty, duty are universal values. Casablanca, the son of French ship's captain, refuses to abandon his post on the burning ship during the Battle of Nile in 1798. He remained at his post waiting for his father's order in the face of engulfing fire. He gets no permission as his father is dead. The ship explodes and he perishes along with others, but his loyalty, duty, and courage live forever.
Let me tell a grandma story. Once upon a time, there lived a king. He had a queen, but no son. So he went to forest to meditate. A sage one day came to him and gave him a mango. He asked him to give it to the queen. The queen ate. They were blessed with a daughter. The king was not happy. He went away to the forest again for meditation. He wanted a son. Years passed. The young princess had grown up to 16 years. The queen sent for the king. When the princess served him food, the king said, "Who is this beautiful girl?" The queen said, "She is your daughter." The king looked at her in disbelief and said, "The first person I see tomorrow morning, I will give my daughter in marriage to him." The next morning, he saw an 8-year-old boy sitting on a tree. The princess had no choice but to marry the boy.
It's tragic.
The king built a palace of 7 wings before where they stayed. The princess sent the boy to the school. He grew up. One day he demanded to know who she was. The princess said, "I'll tell you in the evening." It was a day of celebration and feasting. A lot of people came and enjoyed the feast. Finally, the princess gave the young man food and asked him to go to the bedroom. The bedroom was decorated beautifully. There were a lot of flowers on the bed. He slept on bed. The princess was excited to meet the man of her life. But after taking food, as she was entering into the room, she saw a black cobra calling its away from the bed and disappearing through the window. She stood there petrified.
What happened to the young man?
No one knows. Dear friends, do you know the truth?
The ultimate truth of life?
But Grandma's story did not end there.
Mhm. The journey of a new life has to begin.
Is your love as deep as Sakuntala and Dushyant?
Do you know friendship is higher than love?
Can you imagine devotion can move the world?
Do you dare? Dare like Einstein's driver?
Are you aware that no work is small, even sweeping?
Can you muster the courage to remain undefeated like Maharana Pratap?
Do you understand the depth of sacrifice of Pannadhai?
Can you stand up to the engulfing fire to do your duty?
Are the Galwan heroes your heroes? Do you love them? Do you respect them? Dear friends, these are not just stories.
Their lives, real, vibrant, valiant, and courageous, and extraordinary.
They lived not for themselves, but for others. Will you make your life extraordinarily brilliant?
You will, we are sure. This is it for today.
We'll meet again with another idea on Sara Akash.
Thank you for being with us. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Namaste.
Namaste.